Bob Iger is done playing nice, and apparently he's fed up with losing money. Now, Bob Iger is watching Kevin Feige flush Marvel down the drain, and Bob Iger wants control back. Meanwhile, Kevin Feige thinks he's still the genius behind the MCU, pushing for more preachy nonsense that no one asked for, and Kevin Feige wants to turn X-Men into another political lecture. But Bob Iger, on the other hand, wants to make $1 billion, and now Bob Iger and Kevin Feige are locked in a brutal internal war that could decide the future of Marvel. Now, Bob Iger apparently is finally seeing the writing on the wall. He's been bleeding money, Marvel's brand is in the toilet, and even diehard fans are burnt out. Now, even Bob Iger wants to go ahead and simply finally course correct and go big, massive spectacle, high stakes action, something that can actually revive the magic. Meanwhile, Kevin Feige, on the other hand, wants to go smaller and more grounded, focused on political metaphors and ideological statements. Now, you think after the nightmare of the Marvels, Quantumania, Captain America 4, and even to an extent, Thunderbolts, they'd both learn, but no. Kevin Feige still thinks more politics equals better stories. Now, don't get it twisted. X-Men has always had social themes. No one's denying that, but Kevin Feige wants to crank it up into a woke sermon. Not the subtle, compelling metaphors that made X-Men great. He wants to turn it into a modern ideological manifesto, and Iger, for all his faults, knows that's a disaster waiting to happen. And we've already seen what happens when you push messaging over entertainment. Okay, it gets destroyed at the box office every time. And allegedly, Feige is pushing for a serious, dramatic story focused on mutant identity, prejudice, and philosophical conflict. I mean, that sounds all good, right? It would be if this was 2014 Marvel, but this is a post-Endgame Marvel, the same Marvel that gave us Eternals, She-Hulk, and Ironheart. Now, you think Kevin Feige is going to handle that tone with some insufferable, heavy-handed political nonsense? I mean, honestly, Iger sees the meltdown coming, and that's why he's demanding a full-blown event film instead. Now, Bob Iger is finally scrambling to fix this damage. He's already pulled the plug on half the Disney Plus junk, cut Marvel's bloated release schedule, and started firing the executives that's responsible for this content for content's sake mess. Heck, y'all remember Victoria Alonso? She's gone. Chapek's model gutting it. The man knows this is a brand on life support, and yet Kevin Feige still wants to play the same tired game that drove fans away in the first place, okay? And let's be honest, Kevin Feige used to be that guy, but lately his track record's been a nightmare. Now, Thunderbolts is a punchline basically. Captain America Brave New World is already a train wreck. Now, if it weren't for Deadpool and Wolverine, I mean, let's be honest, nobody would even care about the MCU right now. And even that movie only works simply because of nostalgia. Hugh Jackman and the Fox era characters right there, and even Ryan Reynolds. Bob Iger knows they need to reignite real hype. Kevin Feige thinks lecturing audiences is the best answer. Now, new reports say that this X-Men reboot is ground zero for their conflict. Bob Iger wants a guaranteed hit, but Kevin Feige wants another woke, grounded story with deep messaging. Allegedly, Bob Iger is pushing back hard, sick of watching Marvel's flock stack up. And can you blame him? I mean, the audience is actually sick or tired of being preached to. You see, they want action, they want characters, they want fun. Kevin Feige refuses to accept that, and Bob Iger's patience is wearing thin, okay? But, I mean, at this point, Iger is the last line of defense between the audience and another Marvel disaster. He's looking at Spider-Man movies and Deadpool and Wolverine and saying, this is how to do it. Those movies work because they gave the fans what they wanted. Now, Kevin Feige still thinks that they can actually go ahead and reinvent the wheel with another abstract, socially charged script. And every time he tries, it blows up in his face. I mean, we've got a long trail of failures to prove it. Now, casting is already getting weird. Cynthia Erivo for Storm, I mean, that's a no for me. Daniel Day-Lewis as Magneto, he'll never sign on the long term. Bryan Cranston as Professor X, I mean, that might work, but then Kevin Feige wants to start throwing around, ideas for race swap versions of Magneto and Professor X to actually reflect today's society. But of course, I mean, that's the problem. Everything has to be reimagined now. Iger is hearing all of this and probably sweating bullets and stuff. Now, this kind of chaos always leaks when, the studio knows that it's in trouble. Kevin Feige is holding on to creative control like a sinking captain gripping the wheel, and Bob Iger is just simply trying to go ahead and steer the ship away from another iceberg. It's the classic struggle right there, the ideologue versus the businessman. Feige wants the applause from critics and activists. Iger wants butts in seats, and if Bob Iger can't rein him in, the franchise itself is doomed. Now, Marvel was once a juggernaut because it used to understand balance. You see, Kevin Feige, on the other hand, used to understand that too. But now he's in deep end, and this is not the same Kevin Feige we knew from the Spider-Man movies from the 2000s. And if Bob Iger knows it, that's why he's pushing back. That's why they're clashing. He sees that Marvel isn't just creatively stuck, it's in a full blown meltdown. Now, every time they try to reinvent the wheel, they go further into the red, and fans are walking away in droves. Now, Bob Iger doesn't want another She-Hulk. He doesn't want another Eternals. He wants something people want to see. Heck, as a matter of fact, I think that's why, they decided to go ahead and release the new Spider-Man movie before Avengers Doomsday. Now, that was just announced today. And right now, fans don't trust Kevin Feige anymore. I mean, I don't either. You see, they see the directions he's going and they're done. And that's why this X-Men reboot matters. You see, it's not just another Marvel movie, it's a line in the sand, basically. Either Bob Iger wrestles back control or Kevin Feige simply drags this once great franchise deeper into the abyss, okay? But I mean, let's be honest. Even if Iger wins, the brand might already be too damaged. The fans have been burned too many times. Expectations are at rock bottom. You could cast the perfect Magneto, nail every character, and still get ignored if the movie has Feige's fingerprints all over it. Bob Iger is in damage control mode. Kevin Feige is still chasing clout. One of them need to go. Okay. But the irony here is that both Bob Iger and Kevin Feige want success, but they just have it in different definitions. Feige wants applause from the media. Iger wants profit. And for once, I'm actually sitting with the CEO. I mean, at least Bob Iger sees that Marvel is on life support. Kevin Feige is still playing with matches in a fireworks factory, and it's only a matter of time before the whole thing actually explodes. So yeah, what does it all mean for the fans? If Iger wins, we might get a real Marvel comeback, possibly something that feels like the old MCU again. But if Kevin Feige wins, well, brace for another round of tone deaf lectures and box office flops. The battle for the soul of X-Men isn't just about creative vision, it's about who actually understands the audience. And right now, that sure as heck isn't even Kevin Feige. But Bob Iger may not be perfect, but I mean, he's the only one in the room trying to stop the bleeding. Kevin Feige, on the other hand, keeps twisting the knife. And Marvel used to be appointment viewing, water cooler movies everyone had to see. But now, there's nothing but background noise. And unless Iger pulls a plug on Feige's vanity projects, that's all Marvel will ever be again. Background noise, a shell of what it used to be, a warning sign to every franchise that forgot who they were making movies for. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Be sure to smash the like button if you enjoyed what we shared in the video. Subscribe to the channel, turn on bells for future notifications, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.